Some of the most commonly ignored maintenance items on your vehicle are changing your brake fluid and coolant. On this 2017 Nissan Armada, I'm going to show you how to check both with these simple test strips. Always follow the maintenance schedule in your vehicle, but if you're at a crossroads and you don't know whether or not to change your coolant and brake fluid, these are handy if you don't know the service history of the vehicle, or if you're wondering if the protection quality of the fluids is still adequate. We can locate the brake reservoir first. This one is very simple. And then the coolant reservoir. Never ever open the coolant radiator caps with the vehicle hot. Always wait at least an hour and make sure the vehicle is fully cold before opening the cap. The brake fluid should be cold, but can be opened pretty much at any time. The one side of this test strip is the brake fluid tester, and what it's doing is testing for corrosion in the fluid. And we can see here using the scale and the test strip that this fluid is basically brand new. It's looking great. We're not even going to change it. We're just going to put the cap back on and maybe check it out in a year. Now to the radiator, again, never open hot. If you've been driving the vehicle, wait at least an hour or two before opening up the radiator cap. If you open it hot with a bunch of pressure, it will go everywhere. Now on this 2017 Armada, the overfill tank and radiator cap are different, so don't mix those up. I couldn't quite reach to the coolant, so I did attach the coolant side of the test strip to a flathead screwdriver so I could reach further down there, and I could get a measure of the coolant according to the scale on the back. And it looks like we have enough glycol and the pH is at a decent reading, so it's pretty good. Now, I actually don't like the coolant side of this test strip. I actually have a different coolant test strip that actually gives the reserve alkalinity another test point. I will link to these products in the video description. This one I feel gives a better reading, but the other one is just as good if you just want to get a general, is this pH at an okay level? So I'm going to show you how to use the more advanced test strips. Again, never open the radiator or overfill tank with the vehicle hot. There's the difference between the two caps, the overfill and the radiator. So I like these test strips. It actually gives color readings for blue, red, and green coolants, along with reserve alkalinity and then the pH. So I'm going to use these test strips in the same manner as the other ones. Use my flathead screwdriver, get it down into the coolant. And I actually did it twice into the overfill tank just to see if it has been cycling through there. And they were about the same. So I could see here the glycol is right at about 50%. It is blue coolant, by the way. The reserve alkalinity is near the middle, kind of, more near the left there side, the better reading. And then the pH, I'll give it about a 9, maybe a little bit less. This is all great numbers. I'm just going to top off the radiator because it was low and I couldn't quite reach it. It took maybe 20 ounces, pretty normal if no one's been looking at it for a while. Make sure not to mix up those radiator and overfill caps. And now that I have some Nissan coolant, I'm just going to test it with those test strips and compare the readings to get a real understanding as to where this coolant at compared to new coolant. Maybe the pH is super high in new coolant and this is a little lower. We could say it's a year old, but after testing it, it's almost exactly the same as what's in there. So I'm going to go ahead and say the coolant has been changed very recently. We can see here the glycol level is where it needs to be. The reserve alkalinity, that yellow pad, is where it needs to be. And then the pH is almost identical to what's in the vehicle. So this coolant is good to go. No point in changing it now. You can check it again in about a year or so and see where it's at. So if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Any additional links for products will be provided in the video description. Please leave a comment if you have any questions at all, and I'll do my best to get back to you.